Hello, I'm Hans van Tartwijk, I'm from the Netherlands and I'm introducing to you one of the phenomenal recipes of Martin van Buren's high school's cookbook. Doing this on the request of my good friend Steve Wilson. And if all schools had alumni like Steve, I think the world would be a lot better educated and people would have more fun cooking. So let me introduce to you what I'm gonna cook today. It's called Boerenkool stampot. The word stampot comes from the fact that you squish it or stamp on it. Like stampede, you stamp it and you make it all squished and mushed so that it becomes one substance. So this one is kale. Boerenkool is kale. And this whole recipe comes from an area called Buren, because Martin van Buren, his family was from an area called Buren, and this recipe comes from medieval times, and that area was known for its rich vegetable count. So here we go. What do we need? We need a good volume, let's say 500 grams of kale, and we cut it coarsely into pieces of 0.5 inch. We need potatoes that you would use also to make mashed potatoes with. And we cut those potatoes in a minute, but I'll do it now for you, into 4 equal pieces, and if the potatoes are smaller, you make it into 2 equal pieces. We need bacon that we're going to chop very, very small. We need some salt, butter, please use real butter, an egg, some real good white pepper, nutmeg, and a beautiful mustard, a little milk, and if you can find it, a smoked sausage made by your own butcher in his slaughterhouse, butcher house. So we're gonna do that later. These are the ingredients, and let's go and start cooking. All right, let's cook. Boerenkool stampot, as we said. So what I did is I've put the potatoes into cold water. I've added some salt, but I'm going to show you to add a little more salt, because salt is one of those transportations of taste, like fat also is actually. And I make sure that the salt is well mixed into the water. In the same moment, I've taken the smoked sausage, or in America also called kielbasa, I just heard, or you take any meat you would like actually with this, because it goes onto the stampot later on. In Holland we have smoked sausages, and we put them in plastic and heat them in plastic, because if you would put them in the water, anything that goes into hot water gets extracted. So your sausage would actually dry out in water. Interesting fact. But anyway, we put it in the plastic, in the warm water. So I've put on the heating very light at the bottom of the pan, and in order for this to get warm and have the sausage nice and hot. So while this is all heating up and getting cooked, I'm getting ready to crisp the bacon. So I'm making a very high fire. We don't need any grease. And we're going to put the bacon in 1 second, and I'll get back to you. Okay, we've just started to really crisp the bacon. Now, what you see here is really pieces of bacon. Let's not put the kitchen on fire, but they're going to crisp in their own fat, so you don't need to put any butter or oil. So let's crisp this up a little so all the moisture is gone, and we can then use it later in the kale stew. All right, so the bacon, very crispy, threw away a little bit of the fat, and it's all ready to be used later into the kale stew. Now, we're going to take the kale and we're going to put it on top of the almost finished potatoes. And why do I know they're almost finished? When I put my knife in it, I can almost push them through without pressure. So, but now there's a little bit resistance. While that resistance is still there, I know I can add the kale, cook it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then let that all go together. So what I'm going to do is spill it all over into the furnace, and it's going to look beautiful on this video. I'm going to take this, I'm going to light up the fire, and I'm going to add a lid so it all can cook together. So, of course, this coincidental kale droppage was not intended, but here we are. So we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes all together, and I'll be back to you when that is all ready to be stampotted. Okay, this is the nicest moment, the fun time for kids. I just put the potatoes and the kale through the strainer so that the hot water is gone. And what you see now is the boiled potatoes and the steamed kale. And so it's all ready to go. The potatoes are very soft and ready. And what I'm going to do is have a secret utensil. The stampot maker. And we call it a stomper. You probably have it in the United States as well. No, you do, I know. So we're going to add all the other ingredients, but to the extent where we really try to do it to our own taste. So we start with smaller versions and smaller amounts than a recipe would prescribe because we want to have our own taste. And one rule is, once it's in, you can't take it out. If it's not in, you can always add. So here we go. A little milk, can be any milk. A little butter. Start with this. We'll taste it. I'm going to do a lot of tasting. I'm going to put in an egg, whole egg. Don't let anybody tell you that the white shouldn't go into this. Egg white, egg yolk, the whole thing. We're going to take some nutmeg. Nutmeg, by the way, is the ultimate Dutch spice. It showed wealth. At first, this recipe was not made with kale because nobody could afford nutmeg. And nutmeg was a very expensive spice. It actually still is. So take a good little shaving of nutmeg. Have some white ground pepper. I like white ground pepper. Throw it on. Don't be afraid. And then we're going to put some extra salt. Not too much, just for that. And here comes the fun part. Let's put it all together. Here we go. And stuff is going to fly around. Your parents are going to hate you. And they're going to say, keep the kitchen clean. And you say, but I'm making Boerenkool from Holland. I'm going to do all of that. And I'm going to make this beautiful stampot from Holland. And by the way, I have another thing to tell you. If you want it more green, just use more kale. You can always add kale and make it an even greener version of this recipe. So it's really fun to squish this all together. Now, the other thing is, once you get to the point where you think you're there, you're going to take an good old-fashioned fork, and the fork will help you to whip some air into this beautiful dish, and that air will make it even tastier. And there's no problem if there's little pieces left of the potato that you taste during chewing. This is not processed food. This is home-cooked Dutch Boerenkool stampot. I'm going to taste it a little bit with a little spoon for safety reasons. And I'm going to try if I like it. Okay, two things. A little bit more salt and a little bit more butter. So here we go. Take the salt. Take it more. There we are. And we're going to whip that all through and make this thing nice and fluffy and tasty. And here we go. So I'll be back to you in about 30 seconds to start finishing your dish and cut up the sausage. Okay, the final and best moment. Time to eat. What we've done is we've made two versions. One for the people that would not really enjoy bacon in their food, or any sausage for that matter. And one with the beautiful crispy bacon pieces nicely stirred in and mixed in together. So to the meaty one, we're going to add this beautiful smoked sausage. But as we said, you can add any meat if you want, even on the side. Do it any way you want. And then make sure, if you do it this way, serve it with whole grain, beautiful hot mustard. Greetings from Holland. Good luck at MVB High School. Enjoy this beautiful dish. Enjoy your year. It will be a great one. Thank you very much. Bye. One last thing. As it was delicious, we still have some left. Let me tell you, this will be even better tomorrow. So save this and eat it tomorrow. You can fry it up in the pan or you can just reheat it in the microwave. And finally, thank you, Grace. one of my 4 beautiful daughters. It is her recipe in the book that we've cooked today, and I hope you love it and enjoy it. Bye.